Okie dokie. Just come inside. I've been outside and sandblasted all this shit. It's all nice and clean. Just got to give it a blowout. Bit of a wipe down. And finish with the heads as well. So now I'm just going to start blowing them out, cleaning them up, and then I'm going to start masking to paint. See how we travel. Yeah, it's going to be interesting. But we'll get there. I'm just going to give it listen, I've cleaned up as much as I can. It just takes ages in that little sandblaster of mine, so that'll be good enough. I think once it's on, you're not going to know. So I'll bring you back once I've finished masking it up. Okay, after about half an hour or so, a bit more, pretty fiddly shit, but it needs to be done. So we'll turn the bastard over and that side. So I'm going to do one head at a time. So I'm going to paint this one now, give it time to dry. I'll put it somewhere out of the road and then do the other head. And then I'll probably give them a little while to dry and then I'll start masking up to do the ports. Let's see how we go, eh? Okay, painting all finished. A little bit of bleed under the tape, but you wouldn't fucking read about it. The tape kept lifting off this bastard, but when he was peeling it off, I couldn't get it past off my fingers. So, but anyway, that won't take much to clean up. So I think that'll look pretty good. So I might leave it now until tomorrow. I might tape up the ports on both sides and do the inlet and exhaust. And then go over it again somehow. Clean off the overspray and bullshit, but a bit of terps or something like that, a bit of thinners, and give it a wipe. And then I'll be ready to reassemble and put the valves back in and start mounting it, start the mounting process for the heads. I think it'll start to go along a whole lot quicker once I get those heads up. Okay, another new day. And I'm going to start masking this up so I can paint the exhaust ports today. Well, I do both sides, but I'm going to mask all this up first. The only problem is usually the case with this fucking masking tape, is if you're not careful, it just tears the fucking breaks off on the edge of the roll, and then you're going to spend 5 minutes trying to break the fucking thing off. Okay. Like that. Look at that fucking shit. Must have been holding my mouse the wrong way. I'm purposely leaving a little bit extra so I can trim it with the knife, with the craft knife. Otherwise it's too hard trying to get it right. I can on the sides because they're straight. These ones are easy. This side is going to be the fucking fun one. Do the easy one first. pieces of shit. Fucking everywhere. Get off me. Paint. It's teal. It's not fucking green, but it's as close as I've got. So teal it is. Just a mist coat first. Give it a second. Probably not going to see too much of it anyway, but just got to try not to be too heavy-handed, otherwise it bleeds under the fucking tape. Now I'll do the other side, then I'll come back to this one. What a wonderful time for fucking spray can to fuck up. Isn't that wonderful? Seriously? Can you fucking believe this shit? Hang on, let's get fucking aggro. And seriously? Shut up. My Apple Watch telling me I've been a good boy. Hit all 3 of my exercise goals today. See, I don't know if I should be fucking digging at it with this either. Because I'll either fuck it or cut myself. Probably the latter. Seriously, I don't believe this fucking shit. Let's get some fucking chemicals into it. See if I can fucking set fire to the place or fucking set fire to me. One or the other. Pump some shit into it. And then I'll give it a fucking whirl. But I did go up there, the fucking air hose down here, you dumb bastard. So you just blow that fucking backwards. See if that gets the shit out of there. Yeah, I don't think it's there that's the problem. I think it's inside the fucking thing. Well, hang on. Fucking burst of energy. Look at this. Fucking beautiful. Oh no, there we go. Fucking up again. Useless cunt. At least the red won't let me down. I think that'll pretty much do it. I'm hoping I need just enough out of that to do the other head. Fucking can's nearly full. I think that's going to be good enough. What do you reckon? Looks okay? Fucking tough shit if it doesn't. Alright, I'll do the other one and I'll bring you back when I'm finished them. Righto, all done. Both painted. Got a little bit of clean up, but thinners will get that off, so I'll use a rag and a bit of thinners, but there's the inlets and the exhaust and the water jacket, it's all done. So next, take that shit off. Next I'll be putting there's more masking tape. I'll be putting the valves in and the springs on. It's got to get a spring to press it from somewhere. I'm sure I'll fucking find something. Yeah, so they come up alright. They'll look alright once they're cleaned up and put back together. So that'll probably be tomorrow's task, is put all the valves back in, and then I can start working on making the mounts to put these on the block. So I should start moving forward sort of fairly rapidly from then. Just all these heads have been the fiddliest by far. There's easily a couple of weeks of work in them. So off and on, fucking around. So we'll start to move forward. Hopefully I'll get it finished shortly. And then try and release it to sell it, because once it's finished I'm going to want to keep the fucking thing. But you get that. Next thing you know, I'll be on an episode of Hoarders. This is Tony, he hoards engine parts. It is what it is. Stay tuned. Okay, let's do some of this stuff now, ready for the heads. Just been out and degreased all this shit. As I said, I don't need those inners, I only need the outers, so give all those a good clean. Degreased all the springs, retainers and the tops, the little retaining clips. Well, it's not going to do anything, is it? There we go. I don't really need to clean underneath. You don't have to see the top of them. Mostly under here. A lot of years of tinny carbon build up. Look at that. Beautiful. Okay, test out the remote, make sure the remote works. Save you have to stand behind the camera all the time. Okay, all done, valves cleaned. I've blown these holes out, I did that before I turned the camera on. So you don't have to put up with the fucking noise and the compressor starting up again. So I'm going to go along now and start screwing all these back in. And just bottom them out a little bit because, you know, they don't have to be crucial. So screw all these fuckers in. Okay, one's higher than the other, only because it's up a couple of threads, but I didn't think it was that far. That's not going to screw in any further than that. I had this useless piece of shit, but whether I can actually make it work is another story. Big old stud remover. Fucking useless. But anyway, we'll just keep screwing these down. Right. Now they're all screwed in. I'm going to work out somehow getting these fucking valves in, and then we'll come back. Righto. Now, after doing the other head and losing collets and retainers and shit all over the fucking workshop and screaming my head off, I've come up with a surefire way of getting them to fucking go on. Put one collet in. Ring spanner, pushing all the way down till it falls down. Now I won't fucking do it because I've got the camera on. Right, it's in. Get the other collet. We see engine builders all over the world cringing at the moment. But hey, shit happens. Look at that. Just to prove it wasn't a fluke, I'll do one more. Come on, in you go, yeah. Don't fuck with me now. I don't want me to lose my shit on camera. It's not pretty. Get in there, get in, come on, in you go. That's it. Put this other fucker in. Whoa, come back here, fuck. Okay. Fucking look at that. Hey! More than one way to fuck a cat. Alright, now I was going to start bolting this rocket gear on. But you know what? I think I'm going to take them out and sandblast them. I think they'll just look a lot better shiny with that grime fucking shit that's on there now. I'll give the whole lot a sandblast. I think it'll look much better. Look prettier. What do you reckon? Give it a bell. Yeah, fucking oath. Let me turn the air compressor on for the sandblaster. It's running in the background. And I'll go and clean this shit up and then we'll come back. Alright, been out and sandblasted. That looks fucking heaps better, doesn't it? Look at that. Much more better. That's going to look nice when they're all tightened down. So I'm going to go along now and put all of those on. Blow a little bit of dust off them. Sandblast the dust. They'll probably make the compressor cut in, but you get that with the big jobs. Set on. Put a couple of nuts on. I'll just go along with the little rattle gun. Just zip those down. They don't need to be tight, real tight anyway. So just zip them down. Right, zippity doo that. Oh shit, something not right there. What have I done? I can see what I've done. There we go. There we go. Just got to keep an eye on those when I do them down. That. Beautiful. All done, and that looks pretty fucking good if you ask me. Clean it off and get all these shitty finger marks off it, but I'll do that with the digger's wax and grease remover. It should bring it up nice before I put it on and then spray the whole lot with bloody clear coat. Looks good. On to the next stage, which will be making a cardboard cutout for the mounts for the heads. Stay tuned. Righto, I've cut out that template. That will fit on the, let me try and do it without shaking too much. They will bolt, or weld I should say, on here and come up the sides, and each end will bolt on the head, so it'll be welded to that journal there and that one right there. So that should work. I'm going to use the plasma, which will be interesting because I may well set fire to the shit. There's that much crap in here, I'll probably burn the fucking place down. So I'll come back when I'm done. So if this video goes beyond here, you'll know I didn't set fire to the place. Take it easy. Okay, well, I'm back, so I didn't burn the place down. I got the brackets done and ground up. I cut them with the plasma. It was a fucking mess, but it's amazing what a grinder will do. Now I've got them clamped into place just to check them out, and as I said, it's a little bit higher than normal, but that's fine. That's how I want it. It's just it looks a little bit better than having them too close. So all I have to do now is move these clamps a little bit, and I'll just use a small drill to drill 2 pilots. I'll take the heads off, drill and tap them, and then I'll break these off. You can see they're only tacked. I just tack them in place. But I'll break those off, clean up the weld, drill the drill the brackets, and then paint them, all except for this bottom bit here. And then I'll weld it back on. I don't know yet. Might paint them black. I think black might look alright, yeah. And they don't look too intrusive. And then I've got to start doing the lifters. And once the lifters are done, then I'll go and get myself some bright bar to make the push rods. And then I'll be almost done. I've just got to finish the oil pump and the distributor and put those on, tack them in place. And then sort that base out. There's really, now with these heads on it, it's wobbly as fuck. It's about as wobbly as me after a bottle of rum. So it's a shame. I like that. I like the way that looks, but I don't know. I don't know whether I can replace that and put something else down there. But I don't know what I've got out there that's going to look nice. Maybe another crank. I could pull a crank out of one of the other engines, because I don't really need that to make a coffee table. So, and just bolt the crank on the bottom, and then I can cut this bit off here, and bolt that onto the bottom of the crank. That might look all right. A camshaft. I have a spare camshaft hiding down in there, but I don't think the cam's going to be sturdy enough. Well, maybe it will be. The cam might do, you know. I'll see. I'll have a play with it, but I want to get this top end finished first. And once that's finished, then I'll start doing that bottom end. That's going to be the fun bit. Yeah. Anyway, I'm going to start drilling some holes. Sort this out, and then hopefully I want to get these heads bolted on today. I may even bolt them on before I take this back off. Oh no, I've got to take them off the driller. I can't drill them in situ by hand. It's going to be a pain in the ass, but I'll do something. I'll work something out. I mean, realistically, I can paint those once they're in place. Just mask everything up and give it a coat of paint. So that'll work okay, I guess. Yeah, so that I think that's going to look really good. That's starting to come up good now. Stay tuned. I'll bring you back when I've got a bit more done. Righto, here we go. All drilled, tapped, and I found some nice little 8mm screws left over from one of the sheds I put up somewhere. And that's got the heads up. It's a bit sooner than I thought this week, but that's good. I'm happy. So pulled these off, fixed them, and sort of welded the back so you can't see it so much. And I put a bend. I put a bend on that side, obviously, because that bank of cylinders sits back a little bit. So to line everything up, just move those brackets around and then moved them around that way and then straightened them. So that's coming together good. Now, tomorrow, that'll do for the day. I'm going to pack up now. Tomorrow, I'll start working out on those lifters, work out how I'm going to mount those. So that'll be tomorrow's project. See you then. Okay, a bit of an update. I thought I'll do an update now before I get everything off the camera and edit it. I'll include a picture. I did have part of this completed on one side, but I didn't like the way it looked. It looked shithouse. I had piece of flat bar welded down there, and I had the lifters sitting on top and tacked. But the way they are, the material they won't hold if you hit them or push them a little bit. They snap off, and I was not happy with the way it was working out. So I'll come up with a better idea. Actually, someone, I think it was David, on the page come up with a suggestion, and I sort of developed it from there. So what I've done is I've gone and got all of the lifters and stripped the guts out of them. As you can see, I've ripped the guts right out of them. There's all of the innards. If you ever want to know what the inside of a hydraulic lift looks like, well, there it is. And the rest of the fuckers are in there soaking in kerosene just to get all the oil out, because there's still a shit ton of oil in them. It's very hard to clean out. So what I'm going to do now, well, The idea was to machine some, get some steel and make plugs. Put plugs in it, like that, and then cut some round bar. I've got some round bar, some 10mm. The OEM push rods are 8, but I thought I'll make them 10. They look a little bit chunky, a little bit better. And put cut the bar to fit inside those little sleeves, and then Loctite them in or something like that, and then either stick the lifters on the cam or maybe tack the push rods up underneath. I'm trying to work out how I'm going to do that without looking too ugly. I might be able to get away with it because there'll be pressure on it. I'm going to make sure there's pressure on all of them. And doing it that way, the lifters won't compress. So where it's sitting on top of the lobe like that, I'll actually be able to open that valve so that you'll see the valves open underneath. Hence the reason, Lindsay, that's why I'm lifting them up a little bit higher, so it doesn't look so cluttered. So a couple of the ones there, there's a couple of lobes there, the valves will be partially open. When you stand back, you'll be able to see them from the middle here. So I've dropped these pistons down. I'm going to drop all of them down later before I redo it. I just got to clean up where I had the stuff welded in there. I've managed to grind most of it out. Clean up everything, pull the heads out, paint these brackets, then screw the heads back on because that'll be the last time they come off, and then do the rest of it. But I thought I'd be fucking clever, and I got some bolts. Where are they? I'm wandering around like a madman. I thought, I'll get some bolts, eh? And I'll cut those, and it turns out they're perfect size to fit inside those lifters. But dickhead me, all they had there was high tensile bolts, didn't they? And if you have a look on top of the lathe, they're all dead drills. It took me nearly fell ass over tit. Took me more than 3 hours to make these. So that's the whole plan. I'll go in like that, and I've got the 10mm holes. It'll go on the 10mm round bar. I've just got to clean it up a little bit, and that'll all hold nice and strong and sturdy. I got the shits with it yesterday. Fuck this shit. So I went into town. Only $50. Brought a 6 metre length of 20mm. So I'll just stick that in and machine it down. I think it's about 15.5mm or something, like whatever the inside of those bloody lifters are. So I'll just machine it down, drill it out, and part it off, and then clean the ends up, and that's it. So then that'll go in, and yeah. So I've sort of got a little bit more now. I've added more work to it, but I think it's going to look better. It looked bloody terrible. I don't know. You'll see the photo. I'll put the photo in. I went and got more shit. That's all for the stand, the chain, and chain it all down, so to make it all steady. Chains up there in the shelf. Got some turnbuckles to tension it, and that'll take all of that wobble out of it. I'll be able to straighten it up dead straight, and it'll take all of that shit out of it. So but it is getting there slowly. So I thought I'd better do an update. I haven't done much video in the last couple of days, so I thought, you lazy fuck, get the camera off the stand and do a bit of a video. I was actually going to try and remount that on this cam, but not that it's too heavy for it, but I don't know, I'm just not sure. So it's probably easier to secure that strut that's there. That'll look a little bit better anyway. So as you can see, the place has turned into a fucking pigsty again. That's just me working. I'll probably come out here. I'm going to come out here tomorrow and machine all of those bits up, and then before I do anything else Monday, I will clean up, as I usually do. Every couple of days I'll clean up before I start working. So it's all good, eh? But that's that, you know. Like, that's what I like about the pistons the way they are. I can just rattle them a little bit loose and swing them out of the road. So, but as you can say, just to address, Lindsay mentioned it in the previous post about why they're so high. Well, when they're top dead centre, they're probably, you know, sort of nearly flat. And I thought, with that so low, it'd look cluttered. I don't know. I thought it might look a little bit better with it higher up. But it's going to have to stay there now because it's going to be too hard. I can't take these brackets off because they're welded. The only way I'm going to do it is if I unbolt the mount, take the heads off, unbolt the mount, and just take that off. But I don't know. We'll see what happens. You know, in for a penny, in for a fucking pound. If I'm going to do it, if I want to do it properly, then, you know, it might take just a little bit more work pulling things apart. But I want it to look good. And the only problem I'm going to have is once it's finished is selling the fucking thing because I won't want to get rid of it. I want to put it in my own cave. I'll sell it. I won't be going cheap. So, you know, if it doesn't sell, I'm going to move it over to the cave anyway when it's completed while I'm selling it. If it doesn't sell, well, then it'll stay in my man cave, won't it? So, and the amount of work that's gone into it, you know, I can't see it going on the market for less than about $2,000. People say, oh, fuck, that's a lot of money. Tough shit. Don't like the price, don't buy it. By the time I've finished it, the amount of work that's gone into it, you know, as far as I'm concerned, it'll be worth it. And people don't have to pay the price if they don't want to buy it. So that's how it is. Anyway, I'm going to take this inside now and get everything off the camera and edit everything and get it up online. So stay tuned, people. I will try and do a little bit more video tomorrow. I'll do a little bit of video of the lathe work and whatnot, and explain what I'm doing when I do the push rods and everything else. And yeah, I'll talk to you then. Peace out.